They were pretending like something was wrong. And he didn't think these. I took away his water, this is just
I think you need to employees that my knees are a little bit.
Meeting will come to order, please. Stand for the
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Don Sutherland.
Here.
Dick Parker.
Here.
Melanie Arbogast.
Here.
Lyle Manette.
Here.
Debbie Terry.
Here. Okay. And I'm seeking approval of the June 9th, 2014 board meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion? Don made a motion, Lyle supported. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. Does the board have any perfection of agenda? Okay, hearing no perfection of agenda, we'll move to, there's a list of reports that have been received and placed on file. And we will start with our first item, which is our ordinance enforcer applicant, Mr. Kurt Mendorf. And what I'll do is if you kindly step up to the podium. That way if the board, everyone on the board had a chance to look at his letter of interest and resume. I did meet with Mr. Mendorf, ask him if he understood what the job meant and if he was still interested. So, and then asked him to be here tonight for the 7 o'clock meeting.
So his response must have been yes, it's still running.
He did respond that he was still interested and that he would be here at the meeting.
Okay.
So now the board has the opportunity, if they, reading this and knowing what the job entails, if they have any questions for Mr. Mendorf.
I guess I'll just ask a quick question, I'm sure you can answer easily. But I know that you have a full-time job right now, so as ordinance enforcer, you will be doing that, like in the evenings then?
No,
or-
I got a rotating shift, so I got days off during the week, weekends, I'll do it that time.
Okay, okay. So,
I work day shift, so.
okay, all right, thank you.
I will point out that as what is it called, PENS officer for Holton schools at the time, Blue Lake Township, Cedar Creek Township, and Holton Township all had Mr. Mendorf work in our township as well. So he, obviously living here, is familiar with our township and is familiar with the laws and has actually had to enforce some of our own ordinances throughout the years, so that's something he's familiar with. Are there any other questions from the board?
Do you have any questions?
No, I pretty much know
Okay.
about it, so.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm seeking a motion to hire Kurt Mendorf as the ordinance enforcer for Blue Lake Township. Is that your motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have 2 seconds. Don.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear him.
Don and Debbie both.
Don can do that, that's fine.
Okay, it's gonna be roll call. So. Roll call, please.
Dick.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Debbie.
Yes,
Lyle.
Yes.
Melanie.
Aye. Motion is carried.
thank you.
Thank you, welcome, and you'll have to get with Mr. Parker at some time. He's back in here Wednesday, or make an appointment with him to fill out the forms you need to fill out.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
So is that as of when?
It would be effective after he fills out the forms, because he's required to fill out the withholding forms and stuff for his salary.
Okay, so it can be this month then?
Can we make
That
it
would be
August
this,
first? Then I don't have to calculate that, unless he wants to start now. We gotta pay, he's on salary.
Mhm.
So
Okay, so you've hired him, now you have a question about the start date,
When's the
okay?
start date? When's your start date?
Or, no, that was up to the board. Is there a reason you wanted him to, I was thinking
Well, if we-
effective immediately, which would be
Okay.
half the month, so that's
Okay,
half the
we'll give
salary.
him half month pay.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to hold back. Is there any objection?
No, you've got lots of work to do.
Yeah.
So half month's pay for the first month there, for
Yeah.
July.
Okay, so would you like to make that a motion?
No? We should. Okay, I'll
It's-
make a
because-
motion.
because
I'll make a motion that he's effective July 15, 14, and his first,
As it's
for
hired.
July, he gets paid a hire, right?
Mhm.
And gets half month's pay for July.
Okay, that was made by Dick, support by Lyle.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Dick,
Yes.
Lyle,
Yes.
Debbie,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Melanie.
Aye. Motion is carried. Thank you. So, now you know. Okay, the next agenda item is planning commission member. We had a planning commissioner resign. My recommendation to the board is Michael Sickinga. He, of course, is familiar to us because he is one that applied to the position of clerk. So we have all the background, and it is one that he was interested in learning and becoming involved in a township in whatever manner he could. But he's interested in learning and all the knowledge in whatever classes he has to go to or partake of to get brought up to speed. So do I hear a motion to hire Michael Sickinga as, but wait a minute, as planning commission member effective June 14th, July, excuse me, thank you, I'm still writing June. 2014, to expire on June 30th, 2017. Because it's a 3-year term. Do I hear a motion? Who moved on?
Yeah.
Do I hear support?
I support.
There's a motion and support, roll call please.
Don,
Yes.
Debbie,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Lyle,
Yes.
Dick.
Aye.
Motion is carried. The next item is an insurance claim. We had some water damage next door at fire station number 1. Bob actually had someplace else he had to be, so he couldn't be here for this part. The damage to fire station 1 was on the roof as well as interior. We put in a claim for interior, and Bob worked through the adjuster and submitted bids, and the next thing you know, we got no paperwork, we got the check. For the interior work, we however haven't heard regarding the roof. The roof was holding water, there's a problem with the draining on the roof, so we're still waiting to hear back from the insurance on that.
All right.
Yeah, the bids the bids that are supplied are, of course, the ones that were submitted to the insurance company through the adjuster. They obviously paid the lower bid minus the $500 deductible, and even if we choose to proceed with either one of these bids, we would have to look at getting the roof fixed first, because without the roof fixed, it's not gonna do us any good to fix that interior.
So the adjuster didn't look at the roof?
Oh, no, the adjuster looked at the roof and he looked at the interior, but he still required a bid. Our problem was, especially with the roof, it's a flat roof, and so you get East Muskegon Roofing in there to give a bid. So that's the only bid we had for the roof. And that's been submitted to the insurance company also. What they did look at and decide on was the ceiling.
How much was the bid from East Muskegon Roofing? Do you have any
Yeah,
idea?
I just got a copy of that from Bob. It's $2,350. And that's to lower the roof drains, to deck, then install new torch down roofing at both drains, seal all seams, and tie roof to drains for a watertight seal. whenever he got up there, when Bob got up there too, that's retaining out water up there. So,
I
Okay.
would say they do that.
no, that's the problem, this is what we're, the roof itself, we haven't gotten anything back from the insurance
Yeah,
company.
we thought that was a bid.
That is a bid.
Okay, when did they say they do that?
The roof?
Yeah.
No, it got submitted to the insurance
Well,
company.
that's it. When did East Muskegon say they do it?
They didn't. They're waiting for information, we're waiting for information back from the insurance company.
But East Muskegon Roofing gave you that estimate.
Yes, they gave that estimate to Bob July 13th.
So, I guess my question is this, since it wasn't submitted together, are they gonna do another $500 deductible for the roof?
Well, that was the next question we asked, and the reason we asked that was because, first of all, when the adjuster came out, we were understanding that we would receive something back paper-wise. But when you got the check, there was nothing in it,
No.
just this check with it set on the ceiling. That was the other question we asked. The other thing is what Dick's asking, is this covered by insurance? That I don't know.
Well,
where
I'm
the-
not concerned about that. Number one, we didn't vote on that, I
No, we didn't vote on
know.
it.
And,
Yeah.
this one here, I don't see the date on it,
Which one are you looking at?
the lower one.
Are you talking about the
Bradfield.
ceiling?
Bradfield.
Bradfield. How long's those prices good for? I don't know what
Right.
the date is.
They're still good currently. That's where the question is would they be good in the future?
If they're gonna go down, that's all right.
If they're gonna go down, but if they go up, it wouldn't be so good.
So,
So,
if East Muskegon's bid, 2,300 or something,
mhm. But that's
maybe
the
we
roof.
can't wait for that insurance company, we might have to just do it,
The
so
question
we
is,
can get the ceiling done.
right?
You gotta get them both done.
The question is, do you want to, absolutely. I don't doubt that we have to get the ceiling, we have to get the roof
Well,
done
you
before
gotta
we get
order
the
from them,
ceiling
because
done.
they ain't gonna come right out next month.
I understand that. But the question is, do we wanna wait for any information from the insurance company?
Like,
If it involves a $500 deductible, we better find out what's
Why?
going on.
Right. Because it was the same
well, are we gonna get the
adjuster.
roof fixed?
We have to get the roof
Okay,
fixed.
so we gotta get the roof fixed.
Right?
What difference does it make if the insurance pays now or 2 months from now?
Well, that's up to the board, but what happens if the insurance company, could be, what happens if we get it fixed and the insurance company says, okay, but we want you to get another bid
Well, I'm trying to get another bid.
on a fixed roof?
We mean,
If the roof's
Well-
fixed and we can't get, so I would
Do
say,
we have somebody
Well,
else
did
we
we
can
ask
get
for bid,
another
or
bid
did
on?
they-
that's what I'm trying to find out. I am trying to find out if there's someone else that does flat roofs. That's not an easy
So how
issue.
do we get that bid?
That's the one, Bob
Okay, so we
Crawford
just
worked
called
with the
East Muskegon.
adjuster. Right, he worked with the adjuster regarding the insurance
Okay.
claim.
But who called East Muskegon?
Yes.
Well,
I
who- us or
initially,
Bob?
no, I initially
Or I
called them
mean-
for, and then they contacted Bob back.
You
I
contacted four
contacted
contractors?
them,
Okay.
I contacted East Muskegon Roofing,
Okay.
and they called Bob back to meet
Okay.
out here with him to look at
And
it.
is there somebody else that does it?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Flat roofs is a problem,
I know it's a problem, but
yeah.
it seems like right now that we're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So we need to get that second one.
I think we have to wait on the roof. So if we want to
Well, we better
table,
get it done.
yes, we're gonna have to get it
We
done.
gotta get
But
it
if we
done.
want to table the bids for, regarding the ceiling work, we already got the check, it's in the bank, they aren't gonna pay any more on that one.
Yeah.
So if we're going to, if we,
Well, I think we can approve this one here, but hope, find out when the prices go up, if they go up.
well, that's
When do we
the
have to get them
problem,
by?
that would be the problem,
Yeah,
yes.
it don't say, I don't think.
When it has to be done by, right, that's why I
Does
brought it up.
anybody know anything about these contractors?
Yep, Bob Crawford's familiar with both, and he says both do adequate work, so he wasn't splitting hairs over either contract.
Because there's quite a bit of difference between the two.
Yeah.
And he was satisfied, I asked him that specifically, he was satisfied with either. My problem is what Vic just said, what happens if it changes, we don't know. So our other option is to table this, have him get back on the roof
We gotta
thing.
get the roof
I think we-
done.
The roof, yes, we're talking about the ceiling,
Not to say so.
yeah. We have to get the ceiling done, but you don't do that for the roofs fixed.
You understand that? I
So-
think we can approve this thing here in
Exactly.
Bradfield. So it's approved, so we get the roof done. We don't have to come back to the board next month, or we don't have to wait a month in between each time.
What they do
So then-
understand, the Bradfield understood and, the other construction company, Smith and Son, both of them understood that this wasn't a insurance repair job. They knew it was taking longer regarding that. So then the check covered the Bradfield home improvement,
Right.
less the 500.
But we don't wanna fix the inside of the roof.
We're not fixing it. What he's saying is, can we lock in the price
Well,
with the Bradfield, because they gave it as an insurance
approve
estimate.
Bradfield for this amount of money,
Mhm.
then tomorrow, find out if anybody besides East Muskegon
Mhm. Well,
does flat roofs, have Bob call around
right.
and see, get somebody out here and get a bid.
Well,
So
our,
then we can approve whoever's gonna do the roof. When they do, as soon as they do the roof, we can get the ceiling done.
well, our other thing too, our other problem is our adjuster was gone on vacation. So he did not get back till sometime today. So that's why Bob can get more information from the insurance. No, but that didn't have, that's for the roof. Okay.
But we will probably have to have two estimates in order for the insurance company to pay.
Well, yeah.
We're
There aren't
unsure.
two places to do them.
We're unsure because of the fact that it's a flat roof. That was our big question, is that big thing.
Well, I make a motion that we approve this 445940 to Bradfield.
Can you say the document number, please?
Yeah, it's actually 4959.
Yep.
495940, document number 071414-03,
I'll support.
Okay, Dick made a
But not-
motion.
but not to be done before the roof.
Okay, you're amending your motion to include
No, that
the,
was just part of it.
not to be done and you,
That makes common sense.
yeah, but I mean, do you support that then amendment? Okay, so Dick made the motion, Lyle supported, roll call please.
Dick,
Yes.
Lyle,
Yes.
Melanie.
Yeah.
Don,
Yes.
Debbie.
Yes.
Okay, motion is carried and I will get on with this regarding the roofing.
Okay, let's go one step further here. If we get the two estimates, we don't wanna wait another whole month, do we, to fix it?
No.
Okay,
So I would somehow make a motion that we take the lowest bid, whatever it is, and
Well, he only called.
But I don't know how we can do that.
right, and this is the one,
Everybody knows East Muskegon.
and they do a phenomenal job. So I understand what Dick was saying.
And I don't think
East Michigan-
$2,300 is high.
No, and they do have to, I have to have Lasco Plumbing come in to help with the lowering, because the pipes all have to be lowered inside.
Lasco's price in there?
Yes, they include the,
That's included in the
it's for lowering the,
2350?
right,
Okay, so East Muskegon Roofing got a hold of them to help them?
correct.
We did
East
that.
Muskegon Roofing
So
is,
that's in East Muskegon.
we only got a bid from East Muskegon Roofing, they had to subcontract with Lasco regarding lowering the pipes.
Okay, because we didn't get a copy of that.
No,
how much was that?
$2,350. So how are you?
Can I see that bid, Melanie?
Sure. Mhm.
Somehow we gotta approve it that it can go
Yeah.
forth without waiting a whole month.
Right.
But I don't know how you do that.
Well, make a motion that,
Just as
we accept, or
we
we're gonna get
accept
the roof
the
fixed.
bid that we now
We're
have.
gonna go out for, call for bid, to call for somebody to come out here and look, other than East Muskegon, if we can find somebody that fixes flat roofs. And we'll go with the lowest price of
But,
the
Why don't we say-
contractor
But
that we
Dick-
know.
Why don't we say we accept East Muskegon's offer unless somebody makes a lower offer?
well, you might get a lower offer, but that doesn't mean that's the best one to go with.
Well, right, that's what I'm trying to
That's
get
true
here.
too.
So the
As long as it's
question,
I don't wanna say reputable, but we're reputable and somebody, knows whoever, I don't know who the other contractor is.
that's
I
the
don't know
problem.
whoever does it.
That's the whole problem with flat roofs. Most of you contact do not
Okay.
And-
So East Muskegon might be the only one to get us on.
So then let's get this a document number. 07-14-14-07. The thing is, what Dick's saying too, is we can accept this dollar amount and this, and go with this bid no matter what the insurance company is willing to pay. Right?
No,
You're saying no?
no, what I'm saying is, we gonna have Bob call around?
Yes,
Okay.
because he's got a
Bob's
copy
going
of
to
this.
call reputable contractors. And I guess he's gonna have to be the judge of who the reputable contractor is, unless he can ask Chris Hall, building inspector, the other one will talk some.
My question is this, if the insurance company does not require additional bids, are we?
I
When
think,
we know they do the best job.
No,
So then that's where it starts, because he's gotta get a
well,
hold of
then
the
you call
adjuster
the
again.
insurance company or something.
I think
The
the insurance
adjuster.
company is where you have to start.
Yeah, the adjuster,
Or
so,
ask if we need two bids.
but then, so I don't think we should accept any document regarding that.
Well, we don't know. Do we?
Yeah, before winter, you're gonna be fine. Yeah.
Is that all right with you?
I just,
Before winter?
I don't feel comfortable accepting it.
No, I wanna
Don't know
wait,
what
so
the
we
insurance
won't-
company's
We
gonna
won't
do.
just, I will do what I was gonna
There's
do.
three others there.
No, researching it, if we research it, as long as we do whatever we're gonna do before winter, because the ice buildup on top
Yeah.
of,
I think we can do it at least.
Is it
by-
still leaking now?
no, it is not leaking now.
We should take care of it now, I'm not saying winter, take care of it now.
No, absolutely. So it would be though, this portion would be tabled till the here's Mr. Bob.
There it is. About time.
Hey, Mr. Bob,
Boy,
welcome. We are discussing the East Muskegon roofing. We went with the lower bid regarding the ceiling, but I was explaining to him how our adjuster was out of town. Our adjuster will be back in town, and we do not know if we need additional bids required by our adjuster at this point
For the roof.
for the roof.
Yeah, he's not gotten back with us. He kind of prematurely run
Right.
the bids that he had through the insurance company before we even had them all to him. So
And we
now
gotta
that he's,
check.
now that he's back from vacation, we're simply waiting for him to catch up. And I hadn't gotten any communication from him as of noon today, so.
The other thing is too, when it was all submitted as one bid, we don't want another $500 deductible, because the adjuster jumped the gun.
Well, right, it'll probably come as an add-on.
Right.
You know, it'll go through their system as an add-on, it won't. It shouldn't call for another one,
Is there-
not another deductible, certainly.
Is there anybody other than East Muskegon Roofing that does flat roofs like that, you know?
Say that again?
Is there anybody other than East Muskegon Roofing
Oh, yeah,
that does flat roofs around
Oh,
here
yeah.
that do a decent job?
yeah.
And you know who they are?
Yeah, there's,
Oh, yeah.
Well, what we need to do is
they're down on
pursue,
Getty.
what I'd like to do is that we wait on this one, because this one wasn't even one that was distributed yet for the roof itself, because I think we have to deal with the insurance company first. So what I'd like to do is have Bob pursue the adjuster.
You better make sure how long that Bradfield thing lasts.
Yeah.
Well, we already approved the Bradfield.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that don't mean they're gonna.
Yeah,
Prices
No.
go up, prices go up.
you mean the Bradfield itself, but they understood
We
that it was an insurance.
accept their bid, I would imagine we would tell them how long before.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they also were
Well-
aware that we had to have this roof fixed.
Yeah, most estimates come with 90-day,
Oh.
you know, so we've certainly not gotten to that point yet.
When did Bradfield like submit his, because there's no date on it?
It was back in June,
Well, that's 60 already.
June 30 days, something
Oh.
like that.
June 30th?
Yeah,
I think it's only been about 30.
it's been
days.
towards the end of the month, because we didn't get
Yeah,
anything back from the.
I can get the date for you, though, it wasn't his proposal dated? Really? Okay. Well, it came email, so I've got a date on the email.
I think both of them did, didn't they? Both of them
Yes.
did? So, rather than move anything on this, I'd like Bob to continue to research, especially regarding the insurance.
I would imagine that the adjuster's backed up.
Well,
He took 10 days vacation, who does that?
Fair season starts on Bill.
All right. Okay, so Bob will continue researching that one.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of your stuff's not until later. Thank you. So just disregard that document number. And the next thing is the special assessment. Now, I gave you information, Dale Wiesner brought this to our attention. Unfortunately, last year, it's billed out in December on the tax roll. There was no way to even look at adjusting it prior to that. So this spring, I met with them again. We got a map, which is behind you guys. If you look, that is the streetlight district back there. And all those parcels in there are in that district. However, as it's set up right now, the streetlight district is billed on taxable value, and the tax exempt properties in that district aren't paying anything. And the Blue Lake residences, who don't have a taxable value on the tax roll, are not. I did call Blue Lake residences and let them know if we did anything to change that, they would be paying on the streetlights on White Lake Drive, as well as what's in their own area there that they're paying for. If you look at the second
What'd they
page.
say?
They actually were not in disagreement. They thought because they were paying their own streetlights that was covering all the bills in the special assessment district, which it was not. Theirs is their own district,
Right.
even though it's billed through us, the township.
Okay.
So, Dale Wiesner asked that question. If you look on your first page for the special assessment roll, the dollar amount he is paying a year is $249.15. That's based on his taxable value, which is the third packet there. That is the highest single bill in this, and I think the lowest bill was like 33 cents, I believe.
Yeah, there's a 33 center.
Other than zero. Did research with our district, researched Dalton's district, found out how they're billing it, which is something Mr. Wiesner also went there, they're billing it per parcel. So.
Not by taxable value, just
Correct.
per parcel.
Whenever this district was established, it was actually established on an SEV. We, along the way, changed it to taxable. We re-looked at the district to verify, and Marion did a lot of work, just making sure that the streetlight district was accurate, which it was. That led me to the attorney regarding what we could do to fix it, and resolutions. The resolution in front of you is the first resolution, which is the one to even move for a public hearing regarding special assessment for streetlight district. And it's resolution number RES 07-1414-01. And if you read in there, it's, it verifies that we have a special assessment that's assessed against each property, so benefited in proportion to the property's taxable value. But the item that's considered is the next one, whereas the Blue Lake Township Board would like to consider the assessment roll at a public hearing to determine whether the benefit of special assessment would be more properly assessed against each property per unit rather than by taxable value. This resolution needs to be passed in order for us to go to the public hearing stage, which would be the notification in the public hearing. So what I'm seeking is a motion.
I'll make it.
Okay, now therefore upon a motion of Dick Parker and supported by
I'll support it.
Lyle Manette, let be it resolved that a public hearing to be held to determine the appropriate method of assessment for the tax roll. And I would like a roll call vote, please.
Dick,
Yes.
Lyle,
Yes.
Debbie,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Don,
Yes,
Okay, motion is carried. So the motion is adopted on July 14, 2014.
So now do we have to set up a date for the hearing?
Not, and at this point, we have to, I have to determine, because I'm not real up on some of the publication dates and how you have to publish it.
Okay.
Because that's the next step, and then that would be establishing a public hearing. Plus that a place, because we have that many parcels, 101 parcels within the district, plus 300 feet on the outside of the district that have to be notified, so it has to be a larger place than this. If you have to be able to accommodate the possibility of all of them showing up, plus the public.
So when does it have to be done by in order to change this year's tax bill?
It has to be done prior to you billing out the winter tax bill.
Okay.
So,
I understand that. but I
yeah,
just-
so
So it has
you're,
to be done by
by the end of
November?
November, or mid-November, yeah. Which is all doable, and then towards the public hearings. So, I know Dale was anxious to find out if we're going to go forward to that point. So as soon as I know, I'll keep you informed on what we have to do for notices and when the public hearings will be, and also where we can accommodate that many people.
Did you figure out how much it would cost per parcel? How much the different, everybody?
Well,
would
you
pay
take
for
your
it?
total, might divide it by 101, so 22, yeah, about $25 average or less, I think we were figuring, across the board for a year versus one at 33 and one at 249. So there's a large difference. 33 cents, yeah.
There's quite a few 33 centers.
There's that or zero. Okay. Blue Lake Cemetery, that's the intersection markers. Mr. Bob, if you would kindly come up front. I'm sure the board, I hope everybody had a chance to go by and look at Blue Lake Cemetery and see those cemetery markers. I also went in and took pictures, looking towards the road. I took pictures where it has the 8, or where I just took one side where it was a 4, and then I took a close-up of one pipe in here. So I think the board has questions regarding cemetery, where, when we first talked about this, it was to make cemetery intersection markers,
Right,
correct?
intersections of the streets and the cemetery.
Okay, you set them up in this particular format.
This is just one intersection,
This is a whole intersection?
right.
How many intersections are in there?
In the whole cemetery?
Correct, because I just
Probably
wanted,
about 12, somewhere around 12, 14.
I just was curious, because whenever you're marking the cemeteries, intersections, and how close together would these, how close together are these intersections?
This intersection, the next one on either side would be 67 foot either way.
And what are you planning on doing with pipes? I see they're white, at this point they have writing on one side.
That writing on the one side, in time, will disappear from the sun beating on it. That's why they're all turned to the east.
Is there going to be a name put on them? Is there any?
We could put names on them for the streets.
Are the streets are the streets currently named?
They are on the temporary,
So no, the board
thing,
really,
but we never decided exactly on how we're gonna figure out what the names are for the streets. I just took names randomly from the township.
Okay, so I am trying to understand this, Bob. There are going to be all of these PVC pipes sticking up, and they're going to help people find where there are
Well-
certain plots, is that correct?
Let me go on with, we have to put these intersections in first, so we can put the gravel for the road. Once the gravel is laid between these roads, the whole thing will flow out, and you'll realize what it looks like.
Okay. So we're going to make the roads by way of you putting these in?
It's all designed on a plan, approved by the board some years ago.
Okay, I'd like to see that plan.
Should be in the clerk's office.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't know how this was being set up, I didn't know.
well, I think the question too is whenever you're looking at this on grass
Yeah, it just looks
versus
like a bunch of-
intersection, it doesn't make any real sense on grass. Because you're looking at it going, okay, so,
I'm kinda wondering if there's something that looks better.
The intersection that
well,
you're
that was the
looking
other
at
question.
is this intersection right here. And these are all intersections. These are all the streets.
Now you're gonna have to bring it down this way so they can see too.
Okay, so you need how many by each intersection then?
There's, on a full intersection, there's 8 lights. Now, some of these intersections will only have, like, this one here will have 2 on each side because this is the old part of the cemetery.
And so it would probably be best to write, or not write, but get letters to put on it.
I have stenciled it, we can stencil those lights with the street addresses on, or the street names on.
Dick and Dan.
You're looking on that picture, is this intersection right here.
Where's Blue Lake Road?
Right here. This is the old section of the cemetery up here.
Where's that trailer?
The trailer's just right in here, or, yeah, right here. Actually, this way.
Well, isn't there something that looks better than PVC on there?
That was the question. What is the, that was something we were talking about before.
We,
My wasteman's gonna be cataloging through the way today.
And that was the question. Why he put a sample out there was for the board to look at to determine.
determine if we wanna go with that, or, that is the, most, cost effective as far as I'm concerned, because there's no maintenance to this PVC. We don't have to paint it.
Yeah,
Is it set in cement box?
No,
but
we can,
How far down is it?
they're down 2 foot.
instead of cost effective, looks cheap to me.
The pictures,
There's something better than PVC, I know what PVC looks like. There's something that looks better than PVC.
We went through that in the budget hearing also, trying to find out. I gotta agree with Dick, let's see, these aren't gonna be put in, are these, you're gonna put in the roads before these markers are all.
no, we
But you're
have to
gonna
put
put
the
the markers
markers in so we know where to put the gravel.
I think,
Where you gonna put the gravel down?
Hopefully this year yet.
I think we should investigate if there's something that
Yeah.
it looks so beautiful in there. Is there something that looks more
nicer.
appealing to the eye than PVC? Because there's gonna be numerous of these.
There's no, excuse me, I don't know. There is no writing on the things yet, right?
Right.
Okay. So, I can see what you're doing, and that's the way to do it, very, at this point. Since we spent the money on it, we might as well go forward, and you can start the road to get it with the ground, first steps.
Right.
That'll give everybody else a guideline of seeing what's going to happen. And then, at the spring months, or say, okay, that's the way to go, and get some support.
But the question is there something other than PVC pipes? I don't think we're against marking the intersections. I think it's the aesthetic appeal of
What
what
he's
they are.
saying is get the corner marked,
Mhm.
don't have to be PVC.
So you're
Right.
saying whatever to mark
Well,
the
it don't
corner.
have to
Mark
be.
something.
I know what everybody, but we've already, we knew what PVC, or whatever it is, was gonna be when we said yes to it. Now we gotta discuss and do the first little stuff to show where the roads are.
Right, but we actually, even during the budget discussions is there something else that can be put in there besides PVC? So the question is, does he pursue this with PVC, or is there something else that's more appealing?
You can put 2x2s in there, and mark the corners.
Or 4x4.
Well, the question is that's where the board has to come in. it's time to mark the corners. And so Mr. Dyke was saying, what do you want me to mark them with?
Is it time?
But I'm not gonna sit there and paint all the 2x2s to
No,
mark
I
the
know
corners.
that, I'm just saying, is there,
I don't know what else we can use that's economical and, cost effective. I mean, we could
Something
put,
that looks
we
a
could
little
put
more
bronze
natural
poles
up
in
there.
there.
I know what he's
Okay.
saying, and I know what everybody else is saying, but
Okay.
we said okay.
I mean, we could put bronze
We
poles
didn't,
in
Don,
there,
that's
$200
okay,
a piece.
yeah, that's why it's brought to us, that's why he put the sample in.
Oh,
Just
you
for us
did
to
it.
look
Who paid
at.
for it?
That's, we did, but what we're saying is this is a sample, look at this, then determine, is this what we want in there, or do we want something that looks more appealing?
well, if you're gonna spend all this money on a cemetery out there like that, you gotta have something that looks a little better than PVC pipe sticking up like that.
Okay, so then, what I'm seeking is a motion to table this for the next month's meeting with a
I'll make-
comeback, with a other options for marking those corners, so we can move forward after that.
How about that?
So, do I hear a motion to table it?
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, can you mark the corners and get the gravel down before we put up the markers? I mean, can you mark them like just with a stick?
Well, yeah, but it takes a whole lot more work to do it.
To do
Yeah.
what?
To mark 12 corners.
And not only that, but I've had markers in there already for different intersections, and I don't know who does it, but somebody goes in there and uproots them and tips them over and does whatever. Just like I found coins on top of gravestones already. I don't know what the significance is.
I don't know either, but, okay, so do I hear a motion to table this to the August meeting with more information, with other options for the markers to be? I hear a motion from Dick, is there support?
I support.
Okay, there's a motion by Dick, thank you, Bob. Support by Debbie, roll call please.
Dick,
Yes.
Debbie,
Yes.
Lyle,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Don.
Well, yes.
Okay, so Dick, that's something that you're gonna probably wanna get information on too. Ken?
I'll tell you.
I would like to see the gravel get going.
Well, and
Yeah,
if we
that way
get
It's
we
gonna
in,
take a lot more work.
if we get into, I understand I'm not wanting to put them in twice, so. All right, Mr. Crawford, energy project update. And the next one actually kind of is gonna, be falling on you too. It'll be me, but it'll fall on you, and that's your sale.
Okay.
What we got from Bob was the energy project information packet, so.
Yeah, basically, we're completed with the conversion of all the lighting in the two buildings of the township. It consisted basically of replacing or retrofitting about 98% of all of our fixtures. The indoor lighting, mostly fluorescent, has been changed from T12 bulbs, which are the fat bulbs, down to T8s, which constitutes a 30 to 40% decrease in energy. And we were also able to decrease the number of bulbs per fixture. For instance, this room used to have 3 bulbs per fixture. We were able to reduce across the board about 20% the number of bulbs needed to run. So not only are we running, are we going to expect to get a 30 to 40% decrease in energy on the fluorescent bulbs, but we're using 20% less bulbs in all 3 buildings. On the exterior lighting, we've converted from the likes of metal halide, mercury vapor, high-pressure sodiums, and halogens to LED. We eliminated 1 exterior light out of 12, so we still have 11. Out of those 11, 9 of them are LEDs, and the difference in energy use is going to be as high as 75 to 80% reduction in energy for those lights. We have gotten to the point where all the physical work is done. I have submitted the final application 2 days ago, 2 work days ago. And that's going to release the funds for the reimbursement, which is going to be in the neighborhood of 33% of the money spent on the project. The project was projected to cost us about $3,900. We came in at about $4,100. And we're gonna get about $1,200 of that back from Consumers Energy. But we can expect a 6 to 8 week wait for that check to come.
And one thing, if you hit those switch, show them how it changed, because before, in this room, when we started changing them, it was all or nothing. If you hit the switch, you can show them.
Yeah, we altered the lights a little bit.
Or-
We still have both switches working, but now you can control the lighting that handles most of the room. You can bump it up a notch with that, or when we're doing our audio visuals, which the fire department does a lot, using the front screen, we can shut the front lights off, leave the back ones on for students to be able to use the desks and the tables. So that conversion, it wasn't just light bulbs, so that was, that required the changing of all the ballasts
Correct.
in all the interior lighting. All of them in the fire department, this office, this room, the other offices, and then the beige down at Station 2 and the office at Station 2.
Which brings us to our next point. We now have a surplus of lights.
We got a lot of stuff laying
And
around now.
We have a surplus of ballast, and we have other stuff,
Yeah, we've got over a dozen exterior lights now that still work.
right?
They're just high energy items that we should find something to do with, which we could probably use to recoup even more costs on the project. But we've got over 100 4-foot fluorescent bulbs, and we've got probably 6 dozen ballasts to go with those bulbs. And we have a few 8-foot fluorescent light fixtures too that are laying around now.
Plus other odds and ends that the township has.
Yeah.
Which is the idea for the board to consider having a yard sale. Find out what the board feels, because as
Well, the stuff is,
It
most
still
of the
is
stuff is
valuable.
scrappable. I mean, if we just wanted to scrap it, we could do that. There's some aluminum in there. And those ballasts are heavy enough that there's probably some weight to scrapping them. I do have some stuff that needs to be scrapped anyway. But I think we could probably recoup more money out of it if we sold it to people that were still into T12 lighting. And
Well,
still into the lights of mercury vapor, and metal halide stuff, so.
we're required to try to recoup value. We can't give it away, and we're required by statute to try to recoup. So that was where the idea of a yard sale came in. So what does the board think about that idea? And there's other things, I know the fire department has some stuff. Bob has a, I don't know, accumulation he keeps
Yeah.
in the shed.
How would we advertise that?
Well, that was the big question, and that's something I would have to research, thinking, the yard sale would either be towards the end of August or September, around the
Who's gonna run the yard
holidays.
sale?
That was the next question, Mr. Parker.
I mean,
It's quite possible that you could spend as much money as you gotta
Right.
make.
Well,
As far
that's
as
the
marketing
question,
is concerned,
That's the
especially if
question.
you're gonna hit the papers,
right? That if you go the paper route,
Yeah.
it would be. So that's the question, is there a way to advertise, basically what they are, is building materials, will they allow you to advertise free through the building places? Some will, some won't. So, it's just an idea.
I suppose we could also make a donation to Restore,
And now,
which is zero, we can't donate,
we
that's
can't,
right.
no,
Yeah.
we can't donate. So think about that idea. Bring it back. It would, if it's feasible, determine it in the August meeting. I mean, it needs to be thought about.
Either way, scrapping is our final option,
Right.
I mean, except the bulbs, I mean, the bulbs might end up being the dump, there'd be a cost to take them to the dump or something, you know?
Or,
And then I'd have to check to make sure we're not violating some kind of EPA rule on that.
I know, yeah, cause then you
Since
gotta,
we've got like 120 of them.
I think we need to look at some way of recouping that, so think about that idea or any other ideas. Let me know, cause that'll be on the August agenda to determine something, so that was kind of a thought thing. Bob and I were batting around how to recoup money is what it boils down to.
And if we're thinking about a yard sale, you wanna do that before the people that are around here leave for the summer.
Right, so you'd have to have it sometime in August, towards the end of August,
How
or,
much you gonna recoup?
Couple $100, $300 if we're lucky.
Why don't you sell it all as a lump sum to an
Yeah.
auction?
oh, Marion,
Oh,
sorry, no, no audience participation. Parker,
Where's that yardstick?
no, no, and we've added ideas back and forth, so, everywhere from how you would let people know to, you know, the problem is we are bound to try to recoup money. We're bound by that. It's constitutionally, so we're bound to, so come up with any ideas and let me know. I welcome other ideas if you've got them, just not right now. So, all right, thank you. Thank you, Bob. All right, Miss Debbie.
Okay, as you guys, as the board knows, we are in the process of changing our accounts from Talmer Bank to PNC. So we have decided, or I have decided, to try a few new things to make it a little bit easier for everybody. The reason we are changing, and if somebody didn't know this before, was because we no longer will get courier service, which was $25 a month. And for me to go to Talmer, which is out on Seminole Road, is 50 miles for me round trip, which would cost the township $25 every time I went, which in return would be over $100 a month if I only went once a week. And during tax season, there are times when I need to go more than once a week. So with PNC, I visit Meyer quite often. I wouldn't even charge the township if I just drop off a deposit. So it would cost a lot less for the township. So we have opened the two accounts. We are now waiting for checks to come. I've ordered checks and deposit tickets. And we are also going to try direct deposit, a payroll, which if everybody has noticed, we sent a notice out with your paycheck, and we'd like to get that going. So as soon as you can get that back to Dick, that would be great. And then we're also trying another service that's called Direct Now, or Deposit Now, I'm sorry, Deposit Now, which is a little machine where I can take the checks and I can actually run them through and deposit them every day. But I cannot do cash, so I would still have to bring cash to the bank. And so I think we're moving forward in getting this done. We're hoping to have the accounts closed at Talmer, either August or beginning of September. I've already talked with Talmer about it. So, does anybody have any questions about what's going on?
Yeah, do you know how, you had said you had opened those accounts. How long will it take to get the checks that you ordered?
I don't know, I haven't gotten the proof yet.
Okay.
They're working on the proof right now. I talked with, we're getting them through micrographics because it was less than half the price of anywhere else to go through them.
How will that affect your distribution?
I have checks from PNC right now. I'm actually depositing the taxes into PNC, and they gave me a book of checks to get started. So I'll give them to Dick and Dick can fill them out.
And once you, if you don't have enough of those, the bank can give you more.
Right, and I've talked to PNC about that, I've talked to Micrographics about it. So, we are headed it's just a slow process. You know, I've gotten a few things in the mail from PNC, now I've gotten some emails today from them, so everything is getting started. So I'm excited about it.
Good.
Something new for the township, something hopefully that will be beneficial to employees of the township also.
We kind of come full circle. Because we were there before. Okay,
We were. I didn't know that.
thank you for,
Okay.
any board members have any other questions on it? Thank
Oh.
you. Oh,
I had one other thing I forgot to mention, and that was with our training for BSNA. We received the bill, and it was the same amount that we were told. And,
that's good.
yes, and we figured that it ended up being less expensive for us to have the training here than it would have been if we would have driven there, because Cedar Creek came in with us on it, so they're paying half the bill, and they felt the same way when I talked to them today, that it was a lot better than having to drive there. They came out here, they answered any of our questions, they even looked on our computers, and I think everybody was really happy with the training, so, that's it.
It was informative.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Parker?
You get 2 new vendors,
3?
2,
Oh, no,
and 1 change.
I stand corrected.
Winter police equipment, document number 071414-01.
Do I hear a motion to approve document 071414-01?
So moved.
Any moved, is there support?
I'll support.
All supported, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Mercy Health Lake Shore Campus, document number 071414-05.
Do I hear a motion to
I'll support.
adopt?
So
Do I hear a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Debbie moved and
Well
Lyle
supported before I moved.
supported to adopt document 071414-05. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
And then we just have a name change, Lake Welding, and bought out by Praxair Distribution. So I just gotta have that in there so we can change the address and all that.
Do I hear a motion to approve document 071414-06?
So moved.
Debbie moved,
Second.
Don supported. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Larry? First item is painting of the air trailer, document 71414-02.
Okay, I gave you a letter explaining why this has to be painted, and the bids that I've gotten, 2 written, 1 verbal. Any questions on that part?
You actually are asking for the board to approve the painting being done by Northland Collision.
Correct, and that's what I was getting to now. I just want to know if there were any questions on any of the reasons for that.
The only question I have, Larry, is that, when we give them back to the DNR, do we have to repaint them before we give them back? Okay.
No.
Okay, so once we paint them, we don't have to have them repainted?
Correct.
Okay.
Whoever gets it next is responsible to paint it their colors. Okay.
So I'm asking the board for approval then to get the air trailer painted by Northland Collision. That was the lowest bid, and I've seen their work. And,
Have you worked with either one, or just with Northland?
I've seen Northland's work on Holton's equipment.
Okay,
I have not worked with either one.
okay.
So this is for both the air trailer and the van?
No, the van will be separate.
Yeah.
The pressure's on us now to get the air trailer done, because they're a little unhappy with the fact that we haven't done it since they gave it to us. So that's what I'm pushing on that.
Okay, so this is just the air trailer?
Right.
Okay.
I am getting estimates on the van, but that, we'll have to see if it works into the budget this year.
Okay, I'm seeking approval to get the air trailer painted by Northland Collision, document 071414-02. Do I hear, Don made the motion? Do I hear support?
I'll support.
To be supported, roll call please.
Don,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Lyle, Melanie.
Aye.
Motion carries. That's for the Northland Collision one. Okay, the next thing was the update on the duty shift program.
Okay, I gave you a copy of the report from Deputy Chief Barron. He's the one who administers the program, so I think it's a very thorough and accurate report. Just to add, well, this will go into the next item on the list.
The
The
dry
dry
hydrant.
hydrant. Okay, that's another thing that they did over the weekend, and that's all I'll say about that until we get some dry hydrant.
Okay, does the board have any questions regarding the duty shift program?
Does anybody understand that?
What? The duty shift program? Yeah.
I've asked questions that people I ask don't understand it.
Okay, so what's your,
Do you have,
Well, what is it? I wasn't here when it was talked about.
oh, okay.
What is
That's
it? I
true.
mean, I see
okay,
people get 2 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours.
It should be 8 hours. We do this once a week. We offer a Tuesday and a Saturday. If you read the report, I take it? Because that explains what we do in there, rather than going into that detail here. We have a deputy chief has a system of people signing up. It's a very fair system. You know, we keep going around until the shift is full, so people can accept or reject signing up for a shift. We have a project log, which states what the people are to be doing on their shift. We have we have a project form, and then we also have a project log, which they have to log in what they have done with their time during the course of their shift. And of course, if there's a call that takes priority, you know, they stop what they're doing, go on a call, and then come back and do their work. So it's just a means of getting everything done in a quicker, in a faster.
The incidental stuff.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct. Things that in the past we used to pay people to do station duty. Well, you know, let's hire somebody, hire 2 people for 1 day a week and have them do that, and, you know, we get things done more thoroughly and more efficiently. So yes, a lot of the incidental stuff.
So what day are they supposed to be here?
They have a choice of a Tuesday or a Saturday. We put in a Saturday because some people who work a 5-day week, they would not have a chance to do that, so we put in a Saturday.
Are they supposed to be here a full 8 hours?
Yeah, oh, yes.
So it's 2 fire
Two people.
personnel that are here on Tuesday and Saturday?
Tuesday or Saturday.
or Saturday, it's one of the days.
Oh, okay, so it's
So
one.
one day,
There might be nobody here on Tuesday or?
that's correct. As a matter of fact, I don't believe anybody has signed up for tomorrow.
Okay.
And how does that work with probationary firefighters?
We
And
are gonna be changing our SOG on that, modifying a little bit. When we first started this, probationary firefighters were not allowed to sign up. However, we have a very good probationary firefighter right now, and there was an opening on a shift. And as long as they're working with an officer, I believe captain or above, we're gonna allow them to work on the shift with that person. They will not respond to medicals, which is the biggest problem we have with our probationary firefighters, and going back to years ago with a medical license, because they don't have a license, that's why. So we're going to try that. As a matter of fact, we did try it, it worked out very good. We're getting a lot of work out of most of the people who've been signing up.
As far as payroll, is it affected the payroll at all for that?
Well, you see that more than we do. We don't know what, you asked me, you know, give you an amount of what we paid out. I don't know what we paid out, because between you and Dick, you see that, you know, we don't. But it has not affected our payroll budget.
Right, that's
There's
fine.
no significant
Okay, change in it?
change or any noticeable thing in that budget.
Okay.
You know, again, if you stop and think about the past where we paid people to do this on their own time, you know, we're probably saving money with this program.
Well, that's what you had expected, I just didn't know how it would work. And I thought they were going to be there more than one day a week, so.
No,
So that makes me know better.
Tuesday or Saturday.
Okay.
Well, and I think too, the fact that it makes it fair for everyone to have the ability to sign up, especially by adding the Saturday. Before, like you said, that was limited because if it was only Tuesday, they wouldn't be allowed, or wouldn't be able to do it if they worked, so. I think that-
Very good.
There'd be 2 guys there Tuesday, 2 guys there Saturday?
No, no,
2 guys there Tuesday, no Saturday?
correct, or two
Or
guys Saturday,
no Tuesday?
correct. And the first person who,
So all we should have is 2 people per week
correct,
for 8 hours each.
correct,
And more than once they've gone on runs,
correct.
which takes precedence, as you said.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions on
So it
the,
shouldn't have more than 32 hours a month.
Correct. Well, I mean, if
Unless
there's a
there's
fifth Tuesday,
If there's 5 days,
yes.
or, 5 weeks.
any other questions on the duty shift? Okay, update of the dry hydrant.
Okay, the dry hydrant was tested by the duty shift personnel Saturday. Ryan McFarland of Harold Osborne Excavating called me earlier during the week and said the project is completed. He explained some things to me, and he ran his camera down there and as far as it could go, and he noticed there's a lot of buildup of debris and zebra mussels at the end of the dry hydrant. He thought that maybe a flushing would do before we drafted with it, and that's what the duty shift people did Saturday. They cleaned it out, they drafted with it, we now have 4 dry hydrants, including that one, which is a very, to me, to most of us officers, a very important dry hydrant because of its location. So it works.
It works, okay, there was a question regarding the exposed area of it. Is there any question regarding that, the fact that the pipe is exposed so much? Is that a problem in the winter?
We've never had a problem with
Okay.
it. No. Matter of fact, well, there's gonna be a problem in the winter, especially with winter like last year, because I mean, we couldn't even do ice rescue training on Blue Lake because the ice was so thick. So where the dry hydrant is, I'm sure that froze down to the bottom. So I mean, we're gonna have a problem during the winter with any of our dry hydrants, possibly.
If the winter is like we've had.
Correct. So I won't say there's no problem.
Okay.
But, and that exposed part will not, that's not gonna be affected at all. All of our dry hydrants have X number.
They have
of
so much,
exposure.
Okay. Any other questions on the dry hydrant? No? All right, thank you, Larry. Okay, accounts payable.
Okay, the,
Debbie, roll call, please.
Lyle,
yes.
Debbie,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Dick,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried.
The second account that we deal with is the electronic funds transfer, and that this time was $3,088.45. I move that we pay that account.
Motion by Lyle, do I hear support?
I support.
Support by Debbie, roll call, please.
Lyle,
Yes.
Debbie,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Don,
Yes.
Dick.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Do I have to read just the net payroll? It's just information, right?
I didn't read it, it's
Okay, we paid the
approving it.
net payroll of $12,446.64.
That's the accounts payable. Does the board want to make any comments while we go into public comments?
Oh, I'd like to make one other comment about the direct deposit, is that we're going to need email addresses in order to send a statement of the amount that was direct deposited. So I'm going to have to put that in the next, that's the way we'll send you that it was deposited.
Okay. Public comments.
It was Barfield, and because of the sensitivity of the topic, I'm gonna prefer not to give my address if I may. On Thursday, many of you know that I have a hobby, and part of that hobby included following the White Lake riverbed, from Hesperia to Blue Lake. and there is an issue regarding a property at the end of Nichols before the turn on Skeel. That particular area is really quite in danger. Although I didn't have my camera with me, so I couldn't take photos, there are at least 20 or 25 abandoned vehicles, many of them along the riverbed. I think Bob Crawford would support me in this. He and I recall having a rather hazardous chemical burn back there from tires many years ago. I think Chief Radke would be very concerned about fuel and oil that would be within those vehicles in terms of fire and hazard to firefighters. Now, the critical issue here is that's out of township. I realize we don't have any jurisdiction, but I would like to bring it to the attention of the board so that if they have any support communication with Oceana and Ottawa Township, that perhaps some words of wisdom would be wise. I do have an acquaintance who visited here several years ago. He actually works for the EPA in Washington, and even at that time, I asked him about that hazardous situation that we had experienced. It is feasible that the board, if they so wish, could put a complaint to the EPA. But I think there are some grave concerns about that property. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Dale Wiesner, 1318 East White Lake Drive. I've been on the cemetery committee for quite a few years now, and one of the things that we discussed was the proper way to put in roads and lay it out is to decide where you want to put them, then survey it, and put the roads in. The last thing you do is put up road signs. If you watch what the county does when they build roads or redo roads, the last thing they do is put the road signs back up. It wasn't the intention, as I remember, to leave poly pipe up at the corners at the cemetery. Asked for laying it out and doing the work, so if something gets run over, it's not an expensive pipe or expensive post. I think what you misunderstood from Bob is that we don't want a cheap post in a cemetery. We're trying to really make nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Any other public comment?
Going on 8-foot over gas, 11645 Palmer Road. The handout that you had with your meeting agenda tonight, an article in the June MTA News about public comments. It's a very good article. I like it. They tell the story and they tell it in good form, especially page 11, paragraph 3. I encourage all of you to read it and apply it as appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Hearing no other public comment, meeting is adjourned at 8:13 p.m.
Yeah.